Hey there. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Sex after 60. That's just for the young folks, right? Well, if that's what you believe, you're in for a surprise. I'm 65, and let me tell you, there's a lot of myths out there about sex and intimacy when you're older. And I'm here to debunk them for you. Trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end. You won't believe the truth. Let's get into it, shall we? I can't even count how many times I've heard people say that sex is only for the young. It's almost like they think that as soon as you hit 50 or 60, it's like flipping a switch, and suddenly, you're not supposed to be interested in anything physical. Well, let me tell you right now, that's a complete myth. Sex isn't just about youth, it's about connection, intimacy, and emotional fulfillment. Sure, as you age, things change your body, your energy levels, and maybe even your desires. But guess what? That doesn't mean your sexual self disappears. It's not like you wake up one morning and decide, nope, I'm done. Not even close. As we age, we actually gain so much more clarity about what we want. We don't have the same pressures or expectations we might have had in our 20s and 30s. We know ourselves better, and that can make intimacy even more meaningful. It's not about looking young, it's about feeling connected, loved, and desired. And that doesn't end when you hit a certain age. People sometimes forget that sex is so much more than just physical attraction. It's about feeling connected to your partner, feeling loved, and feeling seen. When you have that, no matter how old you are, sex remains important and can be deeply fulfilling. So, the myth that sex is only for the young, that's simply not true. If anything, the wisdom that comes with age can make sex even better. Age is just a number, my friends. Here's another big one. That once you hit menopause, your sex life is over. That's the myth that has kept a lot of women silent and thinking they're too old for intimacy. But I'm here to tell you that's absolutely not the case. Yes, menopause brings some changes. Maybe your body doesn't work the way it did when you were in your 30s. You might experience hot flashes, dryness, or a dip in libido, and that can feel discouraging. But here's the thing, those changes don't mean you can't enjoy a fulfilling sex life. First, let's talk about options. There are plenty of things you can do to make sex feel comfortable and enjoyable again. Lubricants, hormone replacement therapy, and even pelvic exercises can help manage dryness and keep things feeling good. And don't forget the power of communication. Talking openly with your partner about what feels good and what doesn't can be a game changer. And you know what? Many women actually report that after menopause, their sex lives can improve in some ways. You're no longer worried about pregnancy, so you might feel freer to explore your sexuality in ways you hadn't before. It's a time to focus more on pleasure and less on outside pressures. Sex after menopause doesn't need to be a one-size-fits-all approach. It's about adapting, finding what works for you, and embracing this new chapter of your life with confidence. Intimacy doesn't fade away just because of menopause. It can actually evolve into something more meaningful and satisfying. So, the myth that you can't have good sex after menopause? That's just a myth. It's time to throw it out the window and start embracing your sexual health in a whole new way. Here's a big one that gets a lot of people stuck: the idea that sex only counts if it involves penetration. This myth is not only outdated, it's just plain wrong. As we age, our bodies change. Sometimes, penetration just isn't as comfortable as it used to be, and that's perfectly normal. But here's the secret. Sex is so much more than one specific act. There's a whole world of intimacy beyond penetration, and it can be just as, if not more, fulfilling. Think about intimacy: cuddling, holding hands, kissing, exploring each other's bodies without rushing to a specific outcome. These are ways to stay emotionally and physically connected without needing penetration to feel validated. Remember, intimacy is about the emotional connection, just as much as it is about physical connection. In fact, sometimes those quiet, tender moments are the most powerful. And for those who find physical touch, like kissing or gentle caressing, more fulfilling, that's completely valid too. So, the myth that a fulfilling sex life needs to include penetration, that's just a myth. There are so many other ways to feel close, connected, and loved. And those ways can be just as satisfying, if not more so. Alright, here's one that really gets under my skin. The myth that older people can't be sexy. Let me tell you something. Age has absolutely nothing to do with being sexy. It's all about confidence, self-love, and how we carry ourselves. I mean, sure, our bodies change. We might not look the way we did when we were 20, and that's okay. But I'll tell you, I feel more comfortable in my skin now than I ever did in my younger years, and confidence. That's incredibly sexy. When you know who you are, when you're comfortable with your body, that's the kind of sexy that lasts. Being sexy isn't about fitting into some narrow idea of what's attractive. It's about owning your own identity, feeling good about yourself, and feeling comfortable with who you are. The most attractive thing in the world. I've seen so many women, myself included, who feel more confident and sexy as they age. We don't need to look young to feel good about ourselves. It's about embracing your body, your experiences, and your life. That's what makes someone truly attractive. So, the idea that older people can't be sexy, that's a myth. Sexy is about how you feel about yourself, not how society tells you to look. And let me tell you, aging with confidence and grace is one of the most beautiful things there is. Now, let's talk about another big misconception. The idea that older people just don't care about sex anymore. This one is so far from the truth, it's not even funny. First off, let me just say, there's no age limit on desire. Sure, as we get older, our bodies go through changes. Maybe we don't have the same energy or stamina we did when we were younger, but that doesn't mean we lose our interest in intimacy. Far from it. Sex and intimacy are about more than just physical needs. And let's face it, we all want that, no matter how old we are. Just because our bodies may change doesn't mean our desires do. In fact, for many people, the older years can actually bring more freedom and confidence in their sexuality. Without the worries of raising kids or building a career, we're often in a space where we can enjoy sex for the pure pleasure of it. When you've lived a little longer, you've learned what you enjoy, what makes you feel good, and what matters to you in a relationship. It's about being open and embracing your sexual self at any age. For many, the pressures and expectations fade, and that makes room for more authentic connection. I've heard so many people say that they feel more confident and comfortable in their bodies as they get older. And that confidence, it can make all the difference when it comes to wanting and enjoying sex. We're not waiting for the perfect body anymore, we're just enjoying the here and now. And yes, that includes sex. So, the myth that older people don't want sex, that's not only false, it's harmful. Desire doesn't disappear with age, it just changes and evolves. The truth is, many older adults still enjoy fulfilling, meaningful sex lives well into their later years. So, there you have it. The truth about sex as you get older. There's no expiration date on intimacy, no age limit for feeling good about yourself, and no reason why you can't have a fulfilling, joyful sex life no matter your age. Age doesn't define your worth or your desire. It's about living fully, embracing yourself, and knowing that intimacy is always something you can nurture at any stage of life. So don't buy into those myths. The best part of your life could be yet to come. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to hear more from me on aging, intimacy, and living your best life. Until next time.